Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. Let's see what we got today. Um, British pound Japanese yen price played out beautifully. I was looking at potential buys above this particular zone. Anything above here will indicate potential buys. And as you can see, once price cleared this resistance zone, it was what? Chabella going up. Okay. So if you follow the forecast yesterday, which is always good to do, even if you will not trade, if you're not sure of the setup, it's good to have an idea. It builds confidence over time. Okay. What I said some yesterday, just to give a little recap, but you can watch the video for detailed information, was that we had this inverted head and shoulder pattern. And what happens whenever I have inverted head and shoulder pattern, especially if it's an equal neck, or in other words, equal V, what it indicates is that on the break of this, where resistance 1, resistance 2, on the break of the resistance, will indicate further rally. Stop loss could be below the setup. So in this case, I gave two different setups where it could be something of this nature. Okay, so on the break of this zone will indicate further rally, or we could look at it this way. We look at it this way, that this is the neck here, this is the head, as in this the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder. Okay, so on the break of this particular zone here could indicate what? Further rally. But I know I wouldn't teach you to master patterns. I want you to understand what causes patterns, excuse me, so that you would know how to wriggle your way through difficult situations, because the market would be printing different scenarios. You cannot just memorize all the patterns in the world. Okay, so this is the pictorial diagram. This is it in life. Okay, you see that normally if you check in textbooks or pattern in textbook, you will see like this. Ideal situation, you will see the one that is like this. You understand? You even see the one that is equal V. This type could occur like this. So it just keeps printing different. But as you see in this particular scenario, it printed a different kind of pattern. So what you got to do is understand the price action. This could be like this. This could be the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. But if you understand pattern, you understand that this was resistance are respected first, once, twice, thrice, fourth time, fifth time. So any break above here will indicate what? Further bullish momentum. And if you're going to look at price action instead of memorizing pattern, discover that when price came up this way, you see the weakness in the bears. Compared to, look at the bears, look at the bulls, look at the bears again. They'll tell you that, okay, the bears were getting stronger, but it was hanging above this zone. Okay, this is just like a dip, a faker, to either take liquidity from the buy side and fake those who had their sells to add position, and also take out those who had buys, but their buys was what? Shallow stop loss. You could take them out before turning. This is what people call market manipulation, but if you understand that first of all the trend was bearish. Okay, until the trend changes in your bias, you still go with the trend. So sales could have been going down, but if you remember, we stood out of this, we stayed out of this sell because it was already in an area of interest. So the buys, stop loss below the structure, and it played out very well. There was a potential buy that could have occurred around here again, but by this time I just felt like let me gauge what's gonna happen. I didn't want to take it above the break of the structure because we will be approaching the daily supply zone. And as you can see, price reacted from the daily supply zone. So what I'm looking at for today is quite simple. Price has hit this 4-hour demand zone. It has respected its daily supply zone. So it's strategically in a ping pong position. Okay, so I would like to see some retracement, then dip to retest this low. Okay, this is scenario one. Or I would like to see a break and close below, whichever one, whether it does retracement then breaks and closes below for further what bearish move. This is scenario two. Or I would like to see a break and close above. I'll call this scenario 3. Okay, so at the moment I'm not going to take any sales. Okay, even if it keeps dipping, I'll wait for it to cross and close below the support, but it will be preferred. I'll prefer to get some retracement, deeper retracement, then take the sales going down, or I would take the buys if it gives me, if it crosses above this supply zone. Just like if you remember when we had the bearish dip below this demand zone, it was just clean chabella. So if we get a a bullish movement above this supply zone, it will be another word, chabella going up. If we come below this demand zone, it will be chabella going down, just like it occurred here. Below this demand zone, chabella down. Above this supply zone, chabella up. So that is just what I'm looking at. Okay, so at the time frame, this particular moment, we have gotten a dip. I want to see some retracement. Okay, yeah, because I don't want to make it complex. If not, sometimes retracements can be set 1 with a divider, set 2, then dip. After set 2, it's not just dip like that. You got to give me test 1, test 2, but that one is going a little advanced. So let me leave it to be simple this way. So this is what I'm looking at on British pound, Japanese yen. Okay, for gold, gold is quite straightforward in the sense that gold didn't really do anything yesterday. If you look at it, just 1 second, please.